floor to start hostilities.
Well, immediately, Coach Yengel taking advantage of that size matchup right there. Look at Pumaren taking on Andy de Guzman early on in this ball game.
And Boy Cabahog against Al Solis. That's going to be traveling, however, on Andy de Guzman. Tried to be a little too hot right away.
The TJ Hot Dogs, of course, starting out their regular starting unit.
Well, if it ain't broke. Pumaren. Patrimonio has Henderson on him. Fall away by Smith. Doesn't go. Codinera tried to put it back up. Has trouble getting the handle. The reverse works.
You know, obviously two of the factors that will be very important in this game is rebounding, because both teams have size inside. As we see, another turnover committed by Swift, and of course the turnovers.
Patrimonio's lead pass a bit too far ahead of Jerry Codinera. Our score is 2-0. 45 seconds gone by.
In fact, Bill, if you look at their last two games, the team which had the least turnovers won the ball game, although both teams averaged 14 turnovers against each other.
All right, and David Henderson making matters look easy. We are tied. Smith on the outside. He's got the Saitona on him as usual. Smith gets past him, however. Terry Saldana with a futile attempt to stop the shot.
In this kind of a ball game, when both imports, as Henderson goes in, gets a foul from Clinton Smith. You know, we were saying that, as I was saying, both imports like to play fronting the basket, never to their back to the basket. As we take a look at this last foul, and you know, here the double team really doesn't come to play too much, because then you have two great passing imports. It's more of the help defense and the rotation, which will be a very, very big factor on defense for both teams today.
David Henderson unable to can the first charity. Swift off to a shaky start as he misses both. Warren can't get past de Guzman. Goes to Patrimonio. In the middle for two.
Patrimonio will have to come up with the big numbers today. He's been relied upon heavily, and the last time they played Swift, remember, he was shut out by Eric Reyes on good defense.
Absolutely. Two great blocks by Eric Reyes. Saitona, meanwhile, on Patrimonio. And he gets a foul from the captain.
A lot of isolation plays early on in this ball game. This is one of them.
Each team going to its strength, which is individual talent. Good hang time there by Nelson. Gets the body contact.
And if you notice in that play, he swung towards the open area where there was no double team that could come up. As Saitona completes the three-point play, cuts down the lead of the TJ Hot Dogs to just 1-6-5.
Sweltering afternoon turning into a cool evening here, but there's definitely nothing cold about this ball game. Remember, what is at stake is continued existence in the first conference. Turnover by the TJ Hot Dogs. Miscommunication between Pumaren and Patrimonio. Henderson pops. He's on a roll.
Well, again, Henderson coming off a good screen. Nobody fighting the pick for the TJ Hot Dogs. Swift now takes over the lead.
Smith on the outside. Getting something of an isolation. Solis cheated on the double team. There's going to be a switch. Codinera has Solis on the low post. Finally gets it as Solis tried to double team Patrimonio, and he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Foul, de Guzman.
Great ball movement for the TJ Hot Dogs. De Guzman picking up his first foul. Pick and roll play. Codinera getting the open space, and De Guzman reaching in. Couldn't stop Codinera.
Is lost, as the saying goes. 8-7. Codinera makes it a two-point advantage for the TJ Hot Dogs. De Guzman trying to get it to Saitona.
No double team coming in. Saitona playing one-on-one.
Good blanket job by Patrimonio, but Terry Saldana with the recovery. It's out. And the TJ Hot Dogs are on the run. 3-on-1 situation. Patrimonio gets it. He's fouled by Solis.
Well, in that last play, The swift Mighty Meaties with poor floor balance. Solis all alone left to pen the backcourt against 3 blue shirts picking up the foul.
Big men of Swift have got to hustle back against a team like the TJ Hot Dogs, which gets a lot of boards, especially off missed shots.
And you know, that's what one thing surprising in the game of the TJ Hot Dogs against Pepsi, wherein they started to run in that ball game, caught Pepsi by surprise. They took away a lot of the points, or they got a lot of their points from the fast break, and that did in the Pepsi hot shots.
Meanwhile, the TJ Hot Dogs are facing Swift, and they've got a 3-point advantage. Henderson on the outside. De Guzman can't get his offense going yet. Solis. Asaitono has hit a couple of 3-pointers, but not this time. Saldana.
Well, he's got to hit the jumper for Cordillera to get out of the blue paint. 10-9. Still a 1-point lead for TJ Hot Dogs. Smith getting the free lane, getting the 2 points easy.
Splitting the defense, and as if it wasn't there. Henderson. He's smoking. 6 points for David Henderson. Maran to Cabajo. Each team looking for a weak spot. Patrimonio double team to the low post. Traveling. Patrimonio wants a reach in, but they won't call it.
Well, good help defense that time coming from David Henderson, forcing the turnover.
Extra steps there by Patrimonio as he was forced off balance. Saldana wasn't looking, and De Guzman pitched it to him, and it's a turnover by Swift.
So far, the turnover picture here has been even for both teams, and that's why the score has been close, although they've been quite error-prone in this first quarter.
Cabajo, long-range bomber, finds his mark.
3-point.
3-pointer at that. Asaitono try to make them pay quickly.
Well, nobody hustling back on the TJ Hot Dogs. Poor defense on their part. Watching the play from the other end.
Smith, dangerous cross-court pass. Pumaren spots and doesn't get it. Poke pass to Cordillera, goes to Asaitono. Maybe he thought he was still on the same team. Asaitono barrels into Smith. They chase it down. Asaitono has his pocket picked. Pumaren saves it. Patrimonio to Cabal. Henderson is on him, but he pops. Misses. Could have been more patient.
Yes. Well, he didn't want to challenge David Henderson that time, although Pumaren was lurking behind Henderson. So a poor decision on the fast break for Boy Cabajo.
Guzman in the low post against the smaller Cabajo. Backs him into the paint, slides in. Cordillera backs it out. You don't go into the paint. Smith. That we gotta see again. There you see the defense scrambling. Smith gets past Henderson, barrels into Asaitono, picks up the foul, gets the bucket.
Well, that was a great sidestep coming from Clinton Smith.
6 points and a defensive board, or rather 6 points for Clinton Smith, and we have a timeout by Swift. 18-13 is the score. Clinton Smith breaks up a play by Swift, and that's something a coach hates to see, especially when he's the one who called the timeout.
Well, that was a poor pass inside, telegraphed. Obviously, Pumaren almost having the shot. Good ball movement.
Patrimonio has it smacked out by Terry Saldana. Great ball movement by the TJ Hot Dogs, finding the open man when Swift double teams. They're able to get it to the weak side with quick passes.
Well, their ball reversal has been excellent so far in the first quarter. A good screen by Cordillera. Cabaldo misses the jump shot.
Patrimonio out-muscles everybody, but Asaitono says, you only get one shot, mister. That's traveling. Left the ground without knowing where he was going to land.
Well, watch this play. Solis already left the backcourt, and Asaitono had to tend to the dribbling chores. Didn't know where to pass.
Smith stops his dribble, goes out. Again, they swing it around. Cordillera edged forward just a little too much and lost it.
You know, both teams have been shooting well, but turnovers like this have been killing their play so far here in the first quarter.
Each team has 5 turnovers, and that's something the coaches are going to mull over. Solis. Yes, he buries
Solis,
it.
3
Triple
points.
V connection by Al Solis, and that's the difference that the backcourt makes for Swift.
And, you know, that will make Pumarin think about double teaming. Cabal trying to get it back, and he does.
About 3
Boy,
points.
Cabal, tit for tat, 21-16, 5.5 minutes to go in this first period, and the action beginning to pick up. Talk about face-to-face matchups. Saitono, Patrimonio. Saitono off the glass, rolls out. Codinera. His pitch was stopped by De Guzman. Pumarin, cross court, Cabal. Defensive Swift adjusts quickly. Patrimonio strong off the shot, doesn't get it though. De Guzman fouled by Cabal, and that halts play.
Well, that was a good foul to give up. It was a 3-on-1 fast break. Boy, Cabal picking up only his first foul.
Patrimonio. De Guzman.
Chest pass from David Henderson. Cabal caught him.
And Distrito coming in for De Guzman. Patrimonio is replaced by Joey Santamaria. So early on, Coach Eli Capacio going to his bench.
It's been an atypical start for Andy De Guzman. Usually gets into double figures in the first quarter. Al Solis, meanwhile, is well on his way to double figures.
Well, this will be again the problem with Distrito entering and Al Solis hitting from the outside. Coach Eli Capacio will have to make a lot of adjustments.
Santa Maria over a pack, doesn't get it. And Swift has only been allowing them 1 shot at that end. But they've got to be able to take it to the hoop. Smith fouls and goes up with it. He's going to take 2.
Foul, Distrito.
It's the first on Rudy Distrito. Swift has 14 fouls with TJ Hot Dogs 3.
Floor quite well here in the opening quarter. And although a lot of turnovers have been causing a lot of fast break opportunities, none of the teams have really cashed in heavily from that department.
Smith having problems with his free throws. Both imports not doing too well from that department. Makes the second. 4-point advantage for the TJ Hot Dogs.
Not too many fouls being given up also in this ball game. Only 14 fouls for Swift and 3 for the TJ Hot Dogs.
Henderson, double team on the baseline, tapped out by Pumarin. Solis recovers in the backcourt. They're asking for a backing violation, but it might not matter. But this one will make it matter. Let's see. Referee De Leon says it will not count.
Violation.
Well, that was a close call by referee
yes.
De Leon.
The closest.
Looked like it. Solis hit that at the buzzer, but the scorer's table signaled or waved it. And the score remains at 22-18.
We've got an illegal defense call. A lot of white shirts in the paint. It looks like Terry Saldana will be the guilty party. The bench is beginning to come into play at the end of this first quarter of action.
Well, Terry Saldana being replaced by Tanuan, a much bigger player, trying to guard Jerry Codinera.
Oh, has been a headache.
Oh, yes.
Smith in the face of a Saitono. Saitono picks it up. Distrito didn't see that coming. And didn't know what to do with it. Tanuan is bumped before the shot. It's going to be on Jerry Codinera, the first on Jerry.
Well, that was a lucky break for Swift.
Foul, Codinera.
Distrito already lost the handle.
A lot of helter-skelter basketball in this first quarter.
And if you notice, the players now sport a haircut that's very short. And seems even if you look on the floor, Pumarin, Aceiton, or rather Tanuan and Distrito sporting very short haircuts. You know, there's a theory in basketball now that it has a direct correlation to how high you can jump. It's called the coefficient of drag, they call it in the NBA.
I think I've heard everything. Coefficient of drag. As long as they're not in drag. Smith gives it up. They find Santa Maria. Too much passing. That's traveling.
Well, they're really looking for the open man, the extra pass. That time, though, Santa Maria took extra steps in this play. Watch
Took
that.
a hop
Yes.
before pivoting. Would have been an easy slam dunk for Jerry Cordillera. So the TJ Hot Dogs lead is now imperiled. It's 22-20, but the Swift Mighty Meaties have possession. We have 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first period. Solis gets a neat pick. Oh, what a dipsy-do by Al Solis.
Avoiding the hands of two TJ Hot Dogs. We're all tied at 22.
Smith attempting a double team. He gets one. Goes out. Pumaren. Kabahu. He was open. Doesn't get it. Look at the battle under the boards. There's going to be a foul. Jack Tanuan.
That'll be the first for Jack Tanuan. Watch this last play of Al Solis.
Ooh.
Timeout,
We got a
Purefoods
timeout.
Emergency Hot Dog.
Glenn Capascio got his first heave at the basket, but it didn't fall. So now Swift has a chance to taste the lead. Spin around by Henderson, found the baseline quite open and made a basket.
Well, one of the few times Henderson's back was against the basket. Gives Swift a taste of the lead, 24-22.
An 11-4 burst erases that lead by the TJ Hot Dogs and gives Swift one of their own. Cordillera a bit too long. Aceitono with another rebound. Solis challenges Cordillera famously.
Using the left hand, and now Swift giving one shot at a time to the TJ Hot Dogs and coming up with their own fast break play.
Couple of Pep 24 fast breaks give the Swift Mighty Meaties a 4-point advantage, but Clinton Smith makes it look so simple to wipe out part of that lead.
You know, that's what we were saying a while back about Smith always coming out or coming in from the outside, from the wings, going straight strong to the hoop. So the double team will have to come as soon as he puts down the ball on the floor, and the rotation will have to be very strong and not only a token defense.
That's an offensive foul. The referees say that Henderson had room to sidestep, but still managed to
Offensive
knock
foul,
down
Henderson.
Clinton Smith.
Santa Maria. Cordillera.
Patrimonio is back in the ball game. Jerry Cordillera will get his first respite, and Kevin Ramos sees action for the first time.
Team foul story, Bill, as we take a look at the radio panel. That's Jimmy Javier and Paul Alejandro.
Aceitono.
16 fouls for the Swift Mighty Meaties, 4 for the TJ Hot Dogs. Eric Reyes coming in for the first time, replacing Nelson Aceitono.
Eric Reyes will be the subject of our feature on KP at the half, a man who's taking life one day at a time here in the pros. He's matched up against Clinton Smith. What an assignment for a rookie. Great defense. Eric Reyes forced him into Jack Tanuan. They got a block shot, and they get a Pep 24 fast break attempt at the other end. But he's going to have to settle for 2 free throws, David Henderson is.
Foul, Ramos.
Well, the difference between this play here and the other play where Clinton Smith was blocked was give up their body banging inside against the import. In this play against Henderson, Ramos not willing to sacrifice his body and just putting up an arm.
Coach Yengia trying to steer his troops ahead. They're up by 3. Make it 4. Got 1 minute and 5 left. An eventful first quarter.
And a very fast first quarter.
Pomare. There's a switch. Patrimonio posting up on Solis. Spin around jumper. That patented move doesn't go. It goes closer to the basket this time. Offensive foul.
Well, again, Tanuan stepping into the lane at the right time. Watch this play. Tanuan stepping in, getting the left hand of Patrimonio, and Patrimonio will pick up an offensive foul. That's his second.
Couple of decisions to be made in the mind of Coach Eli Capascio. Henderson gets a good first move, hangs in the air, too strong off the glass. Ramos is fouled downstairs by Distrito.
Foul, Henderson.
Or rather, it's on Henderson, his second.
And Henderson trying to show the foul given up by Kevin Ramos.
I thought for a moment it was a new dance step.
You know, some numbers here, Bill. 83% for Swift from the outside compared to Purefoods only shooting 28%, and that has been the key to this lead so far for the mighty Meaties.
The outside shooting has opened things up.
And Purefoods continues to miss a near save completed, but it goes to the wrong person.
And you could see Rudy Distrito's face when he turned around and saw who he had passed the ball to. Tanuan. They beat the buzzer and they keep a 2-point lead at the end of the first. Lead for the Swift mighty Meaties, courtesy of that buzzer beater. And this is a crucial stage of the ball game for the TJ Hot Dogs to see how well they can survive without Dindo Pumaren.
Yes, Cabahog entered the second quarter, replacing Dindo Pumaren. Capasio taking a 3-point shot, rolls out, but Henderson dribbling off his foot. Another turnover, Bill.
And a sheepish grin on the face of David Henderson. You see him flashing his teeth here after he had bounced it off his left foot and out of bounds. Cabahog off Henderson, short.
You know, the TJ Hot Dogs have not been very patient on their offense, as reflected in that last shot. In fact, if you look at the numbers, only 40% for the TJ Hot Dogs and 67% for Swift from the outside. And you know, that shot of Distrito will add on to the percentage of the Swift mighty Meaties.
Rudy Distrito fans can now breathe a sigh of relief. He's finally gotten into the scoring column. Patrimonio working hard against Eric Reyes, but first there's going to be a technical because of the illegal defense call against the mighty Meaties. That's the second.
Swift's mighty Meaty Hot Dogs. Henderson for illegal defense.
Our count is 32-26. Barely a minute gone by in the second quarter. Bill Velasco here with Noli Ayala. As we said, it's live or die time. San Miguel, Presto, Shell, and Alaska are waiting in the wings for the victor in this match. And the semifinals start on Sunday.
You know, that semifinal series would be a truly close one. The leaders are only 2 games up on either Purefoods or Swift, whoever makes it, and only 1 game up over Alaska. So, you know, it's really a very tight race towards the finals, and both teams definitely here would like to join them.
Oh, absolutely. The top 3 teams each carrying 7 and 4 win-loss cards. That's San Miguel, Presto, and Shell. That's as close as you can get. Double team on Henderson. He gives it out. Distrito nailed that 3-pointer, but first they called the illegal defense. You can see Rudy muttering to himself.
Why?
Hot Dogs. Ramas for illegal defense.
So that's a good time to pick up that illegal defense call.
Saved 3 points right there.
Right.
Let's see if he'll try it again. Well, he thought about it. This one's wide. Patrimonio in the front court quickly. He's bumped by Tanuan. Gets continuation, says referee De Leon.
Well, if you're going to foul somebody like Alvin Patrimonio, don't give up a soft foul like this one. Tanuan just bumping him with his hip, not giving up the entire body to Patrimonio. And Patrimonio's drilling one over Jack Tanuan, plus a chance for a bonus free throw.
The captain breaks into double figures and ties the ball game to boot. A 6-0 blast by the TJ Hot Dogs pulls them abreast of Swift. It's going to be one heck of a ball game. Eric Reyes, a bit short on that triple V try, gets it back. Distrito. Marata will try his luck from the outside. It's also short. Capasio embraces the leather for dear life, and that's what they're fighting for today. Capasio gets the baseline. He's fouled. He'll take 2. Hooking foul is called on the Rick Marata.
Well, Capasio obviously likes that matchup against Marata, taking it strong to the hoop, picking up the foul. They're all tied, a shade under 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Team foul story, 2 for Swift. TJ Hot Dogs still clean, and Capasio now gives the lead to the TJ Hot Dogs.
Dicky Bognot has not been able to see action thus far in the conference, if I'm not mistaken. After switching sides Glenn Capascio drills in both, and the TJ Hot Dogs retake the lead. A leisurely dribble here by David Henderson. Another illegal defense call. That's a technical, so each team has gotten a T for playing a zone.
Purefoods and the Juicy Hot Dogs. Kabaw for illegal defense.
Well, you know, the TJ Hot Dogs anticipate the moves of the Swift Mighty Meaties, thinking that Henderson would go in. Kabahog stayed on the blue paint, but Distrito muffed his free throw.
He's not been the same man since they canceled that three-pointer.
Still thinking about it.
Marata looking for somebody to play the post. It's David Henderson. A triple team on him. He loses it. Cabajo bumped by Distrito. Second foul on Rudy. Swift has 3 team fouls. The Hot Dogs of Purefoods are still spotless. Capascio, fronted by Marata, almost made him pay for it. But close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Henderson. Distrito. Still can't get another triple V try.
And you know, usually Distrito makes a lot of those medium-range jumpers.
Patrimonio using the outside hand to score. Smart move by the captain, and he's got 12 points. Had 3 offensive rebounds to that.
The transition defense of Swift is sorely missing here in the second quarter. Easy points being given up to the TJ Hot Dogs.
Perhaps this combination of Yang Yao is not swift enough to keep up with the TJ Hot Dogs.
Well, obviously, the matchup of Marata against Capascio has been a plus to the TJ Hot Dogs, and that's why he's now being... Or no, Solis is coming in for Distrito, and Panuan will be replaced by Asaytono, so Marata stays in the game.
Coach Yang Yao not waiting for his scorers to catch fire, taking Andy de Guzman out in the first quarter, and Rudy Distrito, who replaced him, not giving him much from the big guard position either.
But Solis has been a dead shot, hasn't missed a shot today.
I waited till he made that.
Solis, 3 points.
Al Solis with another triple V, his second. He has 12 points. You're talking about the backcourt. Well, Solis thus far the only member of the backcourt of Swift doing damage. 1 point lead for the TJ Hot Dogs. Patrimonio will shoot in the face of Eric Reyes, who clips him on the arm. He admits it.
One of the few.
Rookie pa eh.
Well, Eric Reyes played a good defensive job here. Did everything right except at the last second, and he reached in for the ball and hit the arm instead. Patrimonio so far from the field, 5 out of 8, 62%, and he's been scorching.
Alvin Patrimonio leading the attack. Our count is 38-35. 8 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the second period. A knockout match between Swift and the TJ Hot Dogs. Henderson gets a rim out. Asaytono can't bring the ball back up. Somebody is hanging on to him. No wonder. It's Boy Cabahog.
Cabahog will pick up his second foul. Only the second team foul for the Hot Dogs, 4 for the Swift Mighty Meaties.
Eric Reyes to Al Solis. He's been killing them from the outside. Reyes will try his fortunes.
Reyes, 3 points.
That is something I'm sure you're going to talk about at halftime.
So the perimeter shooting, a valuable asset of any team, has been the key for the Swift Mighty Meaties so far.
Good lateral movement by Clinton Smith gets him past a maze of defenders. And the TJ Hot Dogs take another 2-point lead, and Eric Reyes had a foot outside.
Well, he was cutting from the weak side to the side where Marata had the ball, but he stepped out of the floor or out of the playing court
and hadn't reestablished position inside the floor. Clinton Smith trying to dazzle Asaytono with his dribbling. There's going to be a foul, loose ball variety. Glenn Capascio picks up his second.
Almost had a basket with that tap.
But he also caught part of Nelson Asaitono, which I'm sure Nelson doesn't appreciate. Henderson, double team. Solis is free. Not this time. Ramas, long pitch, too strong for Glenn Capasio.
A little more patience for the rookie. Just didn't give the extra outlet pass, or the good outlet pass. Threw it too strong. Henderson with the jump shot still won't go for him.
And the TJ Hot Dogs pushing it up. Smith, Capasio, Ramos in the low post. Against Asaitono, spins to the baseline, doesn't get it. Henderson ahead to Eric Reyes, trying to beat everybody to the basket. He gets there. There's going to be a foul on Kevin Ramos.
You know, for a guy like Eric Reyes to beat you down the floor, that means that your transition defense isn't really hustling back that well.
So both teams weakening in that aspect of the ball game. Eric Reyes hit a big three-pointer the last time these two, and they won by that extra point. We are tied again. David Henderson has not scored in this period, Attorney Ayala.
Well, he has been getting his shots. It's just that he couldn't consummate the play. A holding foul will be charged on Eric Reyes, his second.
That's number 5 on Swift. The TJ Hot Dogs have 4.
And now Capasio will be replaced by Dindo Pumaren. Well, he's being matched up against Marata, so that's a better matchup for Dindo Pumaren at this stage.
Smith finds Patrimonio. Gets it back. Pops. It's out. Eric Reyes safely with the rebound.
All day long, Clinton Smith will be given that kind of a shot. He's got to make it. Eric Reyes with a jumper. That's short.
That's a brick. Patrimonio safely gets it back in his front court now. Goes to a cutting Pumaren. Quickly puts it up and scores it.
Well, in that play, Marata double team, but the spacing of the floor for the TJ Hot Dogs was very well done. And they got the good ball movement. Pumaren getting the easy 2 points inside.
Al Solis. Nothing there. Smith. Pumaren. Into the gut of the defense. Blocked by Asaitono, but there's a foul downstairs.
Foul, Marata. Marata. Purefoods and the Juicy Hot Dogs.
The game clock reads 5 minutes and 31 seconds. The TJ Hot Dogs with a slim 2-point lead. Dindo Pumaren is at the stripe.
You know, Pumaren, a while back, when he was being taken on by Solis, really wasn't attacking the hoop, but as soon as Marata came into play, then he started to have more confidence. Made a basket a while back, missed his first free throw though. Marata's been replaced by Andy De Guzman, who re-enters the game, forming the backcourt for Coach Yang Yao.
Andy De Guzman has not been able to get much in the way of offense. Hand check is called on Dindo Pumaren. That'll reset the shot clock.
Only the first foul for Dindo Pumaren.
Second quarter outside shooting has gone south for both teams.
Oh yes, they were shooting in the high 50s and 60s during the first quarter. A good jumper for Henderson, his first 2 points in this quarter.
I guess he read our minds.
You know, but the TJ Hot Dogs have had the right idea of forcing Henderson to play the outside. Another hand check foul being called on Eric Reyes.
That's his third.
Foul, Reyes.
Nelson Asaitono giving him a pointer.
Reyes.
Not keeping your hand at the offensive player's waist.
And you know, they say that you can put an arm, not
Foul.
a hand, on the hip of your defensive man.
Because then you'd be, if you had a hand on his waist, you could control his
That's
movement.
correct. Whereas if you have an arm, only the weight can be used as a defense.
Patrimonio double team finds Joey Guanyo skipping into the paint, rolls out. Henderson, long pitch to Solis, stops on a dime, slices inside, bothered by Jerry Codinera. Swift unable to retake the lead. Pumaren, Codinera, free throw line jumper falls, and a three-point advantage for the TJ Hot Dogs. They've been keeping Swift at bay throughout this first half.
Well, Swift has continually missed from the open floor. Henderson trying to take it strong to the hoop. He gets the bucket.
Just a wipe.
Foul de Guzman.
3 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the second period. Coach Yang Giao somewhat concerned. His team unable to break away, and I think one reason for that is they haven't really been getting much from the big guard spot.
Well, that's one thing, and the other thing I think is the position of power forward has been also at a loss for them. Aceitono only with so far 5 points during the first quarter, has not scored here in the second. And of course, Saldaña together with Guillermin also has not been productive so far for Coach Yang Giao.
Meanwhile, David Henderson has a measly 4 points across his name. Al Solis will try again, doesn't get the bounce. It's going to be a loose ball foul. Let's see who it's on. Clinton Smith.
Foul Smith.
Caught pushing. Well, the foul came before, given up by Clinton Smith. They're in the penalty, so Andy De Guzman will be given 2 free throws.
And the Swift band loves it. De Guzman short on the first. It has not been a good night for Andy De Guzman.
Ever since he got that sprain as we started the conference, Andy De Guzman's movements have been hampered in this conference, and he misses both free throws.
Bad sign for Coach Yang Giao. Guanyo. Again, they swing the ball around quickly. Guanyo has a free triple try. It's long. Falls into the waiting hands of David Henderson. One-handed pitch intercepted by Patrimonio.
Too risky a pass.
These players know each other quite well. Codinera, too strong. De Guzman. Stopped cold by Dindo Pumaren. Aceitono asking for patience. Fakes. Trapped. He travels.
Great defense by Patrimonio that time.
And we have a timeout by Swift. 47-45 is the score. Both teams are in the penalty. We have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the second quarter. Glenn Capaccio matching up against David Henderson. Guanyo. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Smith is in the low post. Forced out by a double team. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Capaccio almost lost it. Pumaren recovers. He's fouled and gets the roll.
Foul Villamin.
Yoyoy Villamin proclaiming innocence.
Well, if you look at this play, Pumaren had really no intention to get a bucket instead of just a foul, but he got the bucket too, plus that foul, and he's tied a ball game. He's been getting his points inside. All those 5 points, 4 of those came from the blue paint.
And more importantly, he gives the TJ Hot Dogs a 1-point advantage. Solis. Pumaren denying him the baseline. Solis. Still, Aceitono drawing Codinera out. Solis getting closer, dishes it off to Villamin. Good fake. Gets Smith in the air.
Well, that time Swift showed a lot of patience as well in their play. Gets back the lead.
Pumaren stutter step. Blocked by De Guzman. Henderson. Ahead to Aceitono. Or rather behind Aceitono.
Well, that another poor pass by Henderson. Trying to get Aceitono going in the open floor, but still Swift suffering from that department.
The best thing to do is pitch it about 2 steps ahead of the player. Alley-oop play. Smith changes his mind. Block. Referee De Leon says there's a foul. It's on Villamin, his second.
Foul, Villamin.
It'll be take 2 for Clinton Smith. Watch this again. Could have been a foul downstairs already.
Well, it could have been a foul even as Smith received the ball. A lot of contact in that play.
A lot of missed free throws in this first half. Smith has missed 2, Patrimonio 1, Pumaren 1. Cordillera has it knocked out of his hands. Under a minute to play. Villamin. All the Swift players are on the outside. Henderson cuts into the paint, receives it. He's fouled and gets the basket.
Henderson working double time.
Foul, Smith.
Smith picking up his 3rd foul. Well, as you said, everybody was playing outside. Henderson got the opening.
Smith and Patrimonio each have 3 fouls.
Guanyo.
And Patrimonio checks in for Joey Guanyo in the last 46 seconds of this second period.
You know, the reason why the TJ Hot Dogs were protecting the outside or the 3-point shooting of the Swift Mighty Meaties is because in the second quarter, that's been the key to bailing them out and giving them the lead. In fact, they've hit 3 3-pointers in the second quarter.
And again, it's courtesy of the backcourt of the Mighty Meaties. Patrimonio working on Villamin. Alvin has 16 points and 5 boards in this first half of play, which is quickly winding down. Each team somewhat tentative. Henderson posting up against Smith. He's pretty much had his way. Patrimonio breaks up another play. He's fouled by Asaitono.
Great anticipation by Patrimonio, stepping into the
Foul,
lane,
Asaitono.
looking for that space and the open man.
Simply knocked it towards himself where he could regain control.
Well,
52 to 50, yes, Nolly.
you know, Henderson had the right idea as well. He got the double team. He was looking for the open man, except that his pass was cross-court. In traffic, Patrimonio continues to struggle from the free throw line. 4 misses today.
And we're only in the first half. The captain gets the second.
Turnovers rate. Swift already with 6 in the second quarter alone. Purefoods cutting down their turnovers to just 2.
Henderson barreling into Smith. Gets a second serving. And at the end of 2 quarters of play, Swift is up by 51. The Swift Mighty Meaties up by 3. And Attorney Ayala, it looks like you hit it on the head that they're going to sink or swim with the outside shot.
Well, that's what Swift has been doing terribly well in the first half, as clearly shown by the numbers that they had in the first 24 minutes. On the other hand, the TJ Hot Dogs have been hanging around. You know, they really have not been left out of this ball game, and that's because Patrimonio has been having a great offensive game so far.
We've got Cabajo, Codinera, Pumaren, Smith, and Patrimonio on the floor for the TJ Hot Dogs. We've got Distrito, Henderson, Asaitono, Marata, and Tanuan for Swift.
Cabajo getting the first basket here in the second half. 1-point lead for the Mighty Meaties.
Rudy Distrito trying to get on track, misses at point blank. Asaitono loses his grip. That's going to be traveling.
Good call by the referee. Another early turnover for Swift. Something that they had too much of during the first half.
15 turnovers is atrocious for a half.
Well, that's one.
I think Patrimonio is going to get a warning for that.
Warning on Purefoods, Tender Juicy Hot Dogs. Patrimonio for delaying the game.
Just to show you how bad Swift has been playing on that department, they average about 19 turnovers a game.
And they had 15
And
in
they
the
had
first
15
half.
in the first half.
Well, it was up to the coaches to rectify that matter. A rim rattler by Henderson. Asaitona draws a beat on the basket. It's out likewise. Nothing will fall for Swift in this first minute or so. Patrimonio with a great receive of a PEP 24 fast break.
Well, that's a touchdown in football. Great pass by Clinton Smith. Seeing the open floor, spotting the man ahead of the pack. Distrito with a three-point shot. That one goes out.
Seems that Distrito and De Guzman have not been able to unleash their arsenals tonight. 1 point lead for the TJ Hot Dogs. It's been close every step of the way. Another illegal defense call on Swift. This one will mean another technical. Rick Marata guarding no one in particular.
Technical foul, Swift's Mighty Meaty Hot Dogs. Marata for illegal defense.
Boy Cabahog appoints himself the free throw shooter.
Well, remember, during the first half, the TJ Hot Dogs had a very poor free throw shooting percentage, missing 8 free throws. They could have had the lead at the half.
You leave me speechless. 13 out of 21. That's roughly about 56, 57%. Or have I found the only analyst on the vintage panel who can't do math?
It's about 65%. 21 divided.
Codinera is fouled on his way to the hoop. No need to take out the calculator. It's okay. We can go on.
Panuan will pick up his third foul on this play.
Heck, I can't do math either.
I took up law. No, but not all lawyers are, a lot of lawyers, in fact, have been math majors.
It's okay. It's okay. No, really. It's okay, Nolly. No need to flagellate yourself about it. It's okay.
Well, this one I can count. Still a 2-point lead for the TJ Hot Dogs.
And one thing we're going to keep losing count of is the number of missed free throws they've had, which would have given them a healthy lead at this stage of the ball game. Swift trying to find an open man. Asaitona a bit surprised. Nails the jumper.
So it came out of a double screen. Had enough space on top of the key. Pumaran kicking it out.
Patrimonio. Pumaran finds Codinera. He's fouled by Distrito. Distrito saw what was coming and tried to do a rescue job just a bit too late. Got a glimpse of the editor of Basketball Weekly, Nap Gutierrez, and you know whom he's rooting for.
Well, in this last sequence, again, the TJ Hot Dogs moving the ball very well, reversing the movement of the ball to the weak side, finding Codinera the open man. Codinera back on the stripe. He makes the first.
Gary Codinera joins Clinton Smith and Alvin Patrimonio in double figures.
Well, this man, Distrito right here, has been the missing link in the offense of Swift. Only 2 points so far. He's been averaging 25 points against the TJ Hot Dogs in their last 2 games.
It's going to be a foul on Clinton Smith, bodying up too closely against David Henderson. That's number 4 on Smith.
And again, slowly Smith getting into that predicament of piling up the fouls early on. Remember that in their last 2 games, that has been the reason why Smith's effectiveness was sufficiently cut out in both games.
So a lot of the things we talked about at the top of the coverage surfacing here. Tanuan arguing possession with Nelson Asaitona, but Boy Cabahog halts play with a foul.
Foul, Cabahog.
That's number 3 on Cabahog. Each team now has 2. Tanuan off Patrimonio, doesn't go. Outside shooting of Swift has gone sour here. Patrimonio gathering steam. He's fouled by Asaitona downstairs. That's number 3 on Nelson.
Foul, Asaitona.
Coach Eli Capascio complaining about that last rebound play where he felt Clinton Smith was fouled.
There's the bump by Nelson Saitono. Pumaren looked it over everybody's head to Patrimonio for the easy conversion. Patrimonio with 21 points, the leading scorer in the ball game.
Well, twice they've done that. They've moved the ball to the weak side pretty quick. And they've spotted the open man. Henderson with an open jumper, still out.
Quickly, the TJ Hot Dogs find Jerry Cordillera ramming home a PEP 24 fast break. An 11-2 blast by the TJ Hot Dogs gives them a 6-point advantage. Rudy Distrito almost lost it. All the Swift Mighty Meaties are on the outside.
Well, again, floor balance comes into play in this ball game.
Saitono tops out. Henderson, yes!
Henderson, 3-point.
Big three-pointer dousing the rally, or rather the run here by the TJ Hot Dogs. We have 8 minutes and 5 seconds to play. That was a quick 4 minutes that just blew by us.
Yes. Well, not too many fouls being given up by both teams, and very quick plays. That's a foul given up by Tanuan, almost given continuation.
There was a switch and Tanuan had to cover Saitono's man, who's Patrimonio. Double team goes the other way, gets a foul. Incidental clothesline by Jack Tanuan, picks up his 4th foul. Saitono's going to sit down. Eric Reyes is back in.
Well, Saitono was not getting his rhythm on defense. 2 plays for or against his man were converted by the TJ Hot Dogs.
Going to be another substitution here.
Tanuan.
Terry Saldana coming in for Jack Tanuan. Saldana missed a game 2 games ago because of a back spasm. Well, they need him now.
Well, this is a complete overhaul of the front line for Coach Yang Giao. Obviously, more emphasis on defense. Distrito getting the open lane.
Breakneck speed, scores easily, and that's what he's been itching to do the whole night. And just like that, the TJ Hot Dogs decide to slow it down. Smith working on Henderson. Blind pass from Pumaren and tapped it to Cordillera, who was not expecting it.
Well, Swift was lucky that time. Cordillera again had an easy shot if he had gotten possession of the basketball.
Smith. Distrito has an open triple try, an air ball. And he calmly trots back. TJ Hot Dogs getting on his case about it. 3-point lead. Patrimonio. Cabahog will spot and get it. That is the 4th triple, or rather the 3rd triple of Boy Cabahog.
You know, Distrito actually waved Marata to help him on the rotation. Illegal defense will be called on Cordillera.
Each team has now gotten 2 technicals because of illegal defense.
Purefoods, tender juicy hot dogs. Cordillera for illegal defense.
Field goal shooting in this 3rd period. Swift getting a lot of shots but not making them. TJ Hot Dogs spotless.
Marata is now replaced by Al Solis, so a bigger backcourt for Coach Yang Giao.
Saldana, top of the key, back to Distrito. Posting up against Ramos. Fakes again. Fall away, gets the roll.
Well, immediately that matchup was attacked by the Swift Mighty Meaties, thinking that Saldana can take on Kevin Ramos, a rookie. The lead has been cut down to 3.
TJ Hot Dogs go to Cabahog again. Another outside bomb buried by Boy Cabahog, but this one's just a 2-pointer. Eric Reyes trying to get a move on Alvin Patrimonio. Goes up, gets the basket and a foul.
And that'll be the 4th on Alvin Patrimonio.
Major development here. He went fishing and caught a whale of a player.
You know, Reyes has really gotten the number of Patrimonio both ends of the basketball court.
Well, he's a little bigger, just about as quick. And for a rookie, he's pretty fearless.
Well, he's a thinking player, one of the best assets of Eric Reyes. Thinks about his man, studies his man, and thinks about his shot.
And he's got his own gym, too. Patrimonio to a cutting Ramos. Lost it. Lost it.
And a good break for the mighty Meaties. Ruled, or the ball touched the foot of Ramos before it went out.
Distrito got Pumaren on him. Stops his dribble. Eric Reyes will try to drill in a three-pointer. No. Traveling on Eric Reyes. And we have a quick timeout being called by Eli Capasio. You want action. You've got it. 2-point advantage by the TJ Hot Dogs. The Swift Mighty Meaties rallying back.
Well, one of the intangibles, or rather one of the big factors in this ballgame is going to be the foul situation of the TJ Hot Dogs. Both key men, Patrimonio and Smith, already with 4 fouls in the ballgame.
Double team on Patrimonio. He's got to kick it out cross court. Cabal will spot again from outside and bury another triple.
About 3 points.
Yes, that's it.
Well, Cabal has had that shot 3 straight times.
Swift has got to make the adjustments there. Solis to Distrito. He travels. Rudy Distrito has been off his game tonight, and that's telling on Swift.
And again, the turnovers starting to pile up for Coach Yeng Yao and his boys. And that's problems for them. 5-point lead for the TJ Hot Dogs. 5:15 to go in the third period.
Pumaren looking to Patrimonio. He gets a clear out. Backing Eric Reyes into the paint. Spin around off the glass. That's not an easy shot.
Reyes did everything he could do in that particular play. Patrimonio still with a veteran move. 7-point lead now for the Hot Dogs.
Henderson with a clean getaway. Overshoots it. Gets it back. He's fouled. Little by little, the big men of the TJ Hot Dogs are sinking into the mire of foul trouble. Ramos has 3. Patrimonio has 4. Smith has 4. On the other side, Reyes, Asaitono, and Distrito each have 3, and Tanuan has 4.
Patrimonio.
Patrimonio is also being rested. He has 4 fouls, and Codinera coming in. So this is a very big front court for Coach Eli Capasio.
They have a 6-point lead, under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bill Velasco here with Noli Ayala, bringing you today's lone game. A knockout affair. Tonight, they take no prisoners. Clinton Smith got away from Henderson. Puts it up somehow and scores.
Henderson gambling for a steal, didn't get it. Left the baseline wide open, a 7-point lead for the TJ Hot Dogs.
The baseline has been the Achilles heel of the Swift Mighty Meaties on defense. Henderson, Reyes, they look up at the clock. It says 6 seconds. Cabal takes it away from De Guzman. Cabal stopped but couldn't get control of the basketball. He lost it. Swift trying to push it up before Purefoods can organize. De Guzman fakes a triple, drives in closer. He's fouled by Ramos.
Well, one of the few times that Andy De Guzman has been dead set on taking it strong to the hoop. He's been very hesitant on his shots, and that's also the reason why the Swift Mighty Meaties have been piling up the turnovers, particularly on traveling violations.
Well said. That was the first basket of the ball game for Andy De Guzman. 4-point lead by the TJ Hot Dogs. The biggest lead of the ball game has been 6. That's an indication of how tight it's going to be. Pumaren into no man's land. Codinera recovers. He's fouled downstairs. Looks like it's Saldana.
Foul, Saldana.
Only the first foul for Terry Saldana. Just to show you how well Purefoods has been doing in this third quarter. That miss of Pumaren is their first miss, Bill, here in the third quarter. 9 out of 10 shooting. On the other hand, Swift only 28%, 4 out of 14.
Yet the TJ Hot Dogs have not been able to get enough shots to build a big lead at this stage. 16 seconds on the shot clock for Purefoods. Smith thinking about his move. Gets a step into the paint, and we've got a timeout quickly called by Yang Giao.
Timeout Swifts, Mighty Meaty Hot Dogs.
78-72 is the count. 5 team fouls on each side. Swift is inbounding, and field goal percentage, unbelievable shooting for the TJ Hot Dogs. But Noli, why is the lead only 6 points?
Well, basically, it's the number of attempts that is being given to the Swift Mighty Meaties. They've been able to get a lot of attempts, except that they've been unable to consummate. And of course, the fouls being given up by the TJ Hot Dogs as well to the Swift Mighty Meaties.
You know, this is the third time this conference that Dindo Pumaren has lost the contact lens. First 2 times they
Officials timeout.
asked for an injury timeout. Now it's an officials timeout. There you see what happened. And he's just lucky he
caught it.
He caught it.
Well, actually, for a while, Pumaren had been wearing goggles. I think it was prescription goggles. But I think he felt a little uncomfortable playing like
James Worthy.
Yes.
And a dozen other NBA players.
So he resorted back to the conservative contact lenses.
De Guzman is waiting for a movement. Reyes to Solis. Solis saves it. Reyes will try a triple. No. Maren hastily into his front court. Smith. Cabajo. Back to Smith. Short shot falls. 8-point lead for the TJ Hot Dogs.
And they continue to hit from the outside.
That's our associate radio producer, Chino Trinidad, with goggles. I'm on the executive secretary of the PBL. Smith scores an easy basket. Swift has got to get back down on defense more quickly.
Particularly the big men. No transition defense being shown.
Terry Saldana. Risky pass. Solis will shoot. No organized play for Swift at this stage of the ball game.
Foul, Ramos.
In fact, they're very hesitant as Ramos picks up his 5th foul. You know, in this shot, it was very flat because Solis saw Saldana cutting into the lane. He wanted to give a pass, decided to shoot at the last second, and the shot turned out too flat, hit the front rim.
Terry will get a rest, and Nelson Saitono is back in.
Only 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the third period. Slowly, both coaches pulling out their key players, giving them enough rest for the end game.
So last run, as it were. 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the third quarter. Smith eyeballing Henderson. Baseline is shut. Bounce pass inside is a bit too weak for Pumaren to field. Henderson rifles it ahead to Solis. Gets a step on Ramos.
Well, Ramos wasn't going to challenge that time. He has 5 fouls, and the lead has been cut down to 4. A minute 40 remaining in the third.
As we said, the foul trouble beginning to haunt the TJ Hot Dogs. Their lead is a shaky 4 points. Goes to Codinera on the outside, barrels into De Guzman and cans it. Commissioner Ray Marquez and the amiable executive director of the PBA, June Bernardino. De Guzman inside the paint, over Ramos, hit the side of the backboard as Saitono recovers. Tries to dribble to safer ground. It's knocked out by Dindo Pumaren. 8 seconds left. on the shot clock of Swift.
8 seconds, shot clock.
Joey Santamaria comes in for the foul-troubled Ramos.
And Distrito will check in for Andy de Guzman with a minute remaining.
One team dead ends tonight. Who will it be? There's going to be a foul on Joey Santamaria.
Foul, Santamaria.
His first.
Penalty.
TJ Hot Dogs are in the penalty. Swift is 2 fouls away with 58 seconds to go.
You know, we were talking at the half about the shooting of the TJ Hot Dogs during the first 24 minutes. So obviously they made major adjustments. Here in the third period. Now it's Coach Yang Yao's turn to make the adjustments for the fourth period, especially on defense.
Meanwhile, this third chapter is about to come to a close. The fourth and definitely final period for one of these teams.
Again, a shot from the key. Cordillera burying another one.
Jerry Cordillera, no doubt, has had big games against Swift this conference. This is their third meeting. They are 1-1 against each other. Solid challenging Cordillera. It's going to be a foul on Jerry, his second.
Foul, Cordillera.
Bodying up on Al Solis.
Great job shutting the middle against the penetration of the Swift Mighty Meaties. They've given the outside shot to the Mighty Meaties. Coach Yang Yao must be wondering how to break up that middle.
Al Solis with one more shot. Turns the lead down to 4. TJ Hot Dogs will try to use up as much of the clock as they can. The second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Cordillera, Santamaria is fouled by Terry Saldana.
Foul, Saldana.
They'll give him 2 shots.
You know, in this quarter, the PJ Hot Dog shooting an incredible 14 out of 15 from the field. Although they continue to struggle from the line.
And that's highly unusual for one team to shoot better from the floor than from the free throw line. Larry Santamaria still feeling a bit of the chill of this type of ball game.
You know, this could be a record of sorts, 14 out of 15 for a quarter.
We'll definitely keep track of that. 3 seconds left in the period. Al Solis. Yes!
Solis, 3 points.
Just a 2-point lead for the TJ Hot Dogs. Fourth quarter war. And the TJ Hot Dogs shot an amazing 93% from the field.
Only missing once during that third period. Henderson taking it strong against Smith, who is with 4 fouls, tying the game at 87. Well, one thing the TJ Hot Dogs did well, Bill, in the third quarter was the fact that they moved the ball well, had 9 assists, as against only 3 for the Swift Mighty Meaties.
You can feel the tension in the air as Dildo Pumaren sinks
3 points.
a 3-pointer. And the TJ Hot Dogs momentarily out of trouble.
And they really continue to shoot well from the outside.
Henderson begging for it, pleading for it, and scoring it.
Well, he knows that Smith will come up with a token defense at this stage with 4 fouls under his name.
Smith gets a double team. Trying to look for the open man. Somebody's bound to be free. Patrimonio decides it's him. Free or not, he scores. Quick inbound pass, almost picked off. Solis down the gut of the defense. Bit too strong. A bump foul is called on Al Solis as he tried to retrieve the basketball.
Very poor foul given up by Solis. no way he could have tapped that ball away from Cordillera.
But you've got to wonder, the TJ Hot Dogs will be able to shoot as splendidly as they did in the third quarter.
Foul away from the ball.
Solis picks up his third. The Swift Mighty Meaties with 2 quick fouls. Patrimonio. Fake doesn't get the roll.
That's only the second miss of the Hot Dogs in the second half.
Henderson asking for movement. Swift Mighty Meaties all just standing around. Henderson, the victim of a reaching foul. He's yelling at his teammates to move around.
Fourth foul on Dindo Pumaren. You know, somehow you got to think that this foul situation that the TJ Hot Dogs find themselves in is going to really explode in their face, particularly since Coach Eli Capascio is not really fielding in his bench.
You've got that right. Ominous notes from Attorney Ayala here. A reach around foul on Clinton Smith, and that is number 5.
Smith.
And that's a foul that is poorly given up. Henderson already beat him off the dribble, reaching from behind. Clearly seen.
Henderson taking a tumble on that play. He'll take 2 from the line. 5 fouls on Smith and Ramas. Pumaren and Patrimonio have one in any kind of foul trouble is Jack Tanuan with 4.
And you know, now Coach Eli Capascio will start to think whether to pull out Clinton Smith at this stage with still over 9 minutes to go and save him for the end game and risk a sudden surge by the Swift.
Now Patrimonio batted out by Nelson Asaitono. Talk about an impact play.
Well, that time Patrimonio came out to help. Watch this play. Patrimonio timing is, or Asaitono timing his jump well, getting the shot block.
10 seconds on the shot clock for the TJ Hot Dogs. Pumaren. Cabal not squared for this jumper. The 2 Mighty Meaties argue possession. And we have a timeout emergency by Eli Capascio. The TJ Hot Dogs, and we've confirmed this, converted 14 out of 15 field goals in the third quarter. That's a new all-time record according to Joe Concepcion, head statistician of the PBA. The question again is, can they maintain that torrid pace? Distrito takes it away from Smith and draws a big 6th foul from Clinton Smith.
Offensive foul, Smith. Smith, 6 fouls.
What a dire development for the TJ Hot Dogs.
And he leaves the game with 9 minutes 25 seconds to go in the fourth period. You know, that's what we were talking about. It's the risk that Coach Eli Capascio took when he kept Smith on the floor, risking this particular play, a reach-in foul after a steal by Distrito. So Distrito, although he has not played big on the offense, Clinton Smith.
If there's one thing that Rudy Distrito has done tonight, it's that he has gotten Clinton Smith out of the ball game. And Joey Santamaria comes in to fill in those big shoes.
Well, now Patrimonio will really have the burden of scoring most of the points here in the fourth period.
Henderson. Saldana thinking about it. Getting a basket. And the Swift Mighty Meaties retake the lead.
But you've got to remember the TJ Hot Dogs are the All-Filipino champions.
A great block at the other end. Things beginning to fall into place for the Swift Mighty Meaties. Distrito barreling into Al Solis. Saldana under the basket. Reverse layup is good. Great pass from David Henderson.
Well, he beat Patrimonio down the floor And 4 straight points for Terry Saldana gives them a 3-point lead. 8.5 to go in the fourth.
A surge of adrenaline has just given the Swift Mighty Meaties a 3-point advantage. 8.5 minutes to play. How quickly the tide has turned. Cabajo. Cordillera. That will not count. Foul on Terry Saldana. His third. Each team has 3.
And once again, you look at the kind of strategy that's being employed by both coaches. Coach Yang Giao fielding in a lot of his bench, and that is he has been able to get production from them. As you see, a foul given up by Henderson.
David Henderson is called for only his 3rd foul. We have a timeout needed here by Purefoods. The TJ Hot Dogs are under siege, to say the least. They've lost their import. They're down by 3. Patrimonio backing Henderson into the paint. Fall away for the captain.
Well, in that last timeout, Glenn Capaccio entered the ball game, replacing Dean Dupumaren. That seems to be a ploy to even up the size problem left by Clinton Smith.
And before that basket, the TJ Hot Dogs had not scored in 2.5 minutes. Asaytono gets an open lane. Contact is called by referee Andy Bartolome.
And it's on Patrimonio. That'll be the 5th for Alvin.
We were talking about foul trouble at the start of the coverage and throughout.
Actually, the foul came after Asaytono lost the ball.
A lot of problems for Eli Capaccio, and a long way to go.
Well, one thing the TJ Hot Dogs have to remember, they've been in this situation so many times. Remember, they were left by their imports, Dexter Schaus and Richard Hollis, twice in their history, and they've battled back. They've won the All-Filipino, and with their talent inside, they've got the chance.
An offensive foul is called against Glenn Capaccio. The woes of Eli Capaccio pile one upon the other.
Somehow both teams are rushing their plays at this stage. Too eager to convert points and too eager to come back.
Well, the Swift team wants to take advantage of the loss of Clinton Smith, and the TJ Hot Dogs, meanwhile, are trying to rack up the points before any more damage is done by the Swift Mighty Meaties.
And there's still a long time to go. A foul given up by Distrito. That's his 4th.
Each team has 5.
This is far from a 1 game, only a 3-point ball game.
And remember, Swift played without their import, David Henderson, and that game went into double overtime.
That's correct.
Patrimonio. And you heard the reaction of David Henderson.
Foul Henderson.
Well, that's his 4th. 16th foul for the Swift Mighty Meaties, 5 for the TJ Hot Dogs.
Got a long ways to go. 29 points for the captain. And the weight of the world, too.
Oh, yes. Well, now, Patrimonio and Cordillera remain the purely low post players for the TJ Hot Dogs, effective low post players at that. And so they've got to carry the brunt.
Patrimonio 9 out of 13 from the free throw line. Rather 8 out of 13, 5 misses for the captain. Swift spreading the floor. Henderson trying to drive, goes out. Solis had an open jumper, bobbled. Cordillera lays a block on Henderson. Pumaren pushing it up. 2-on-4 situation. Pumaren fishes a foul from Solis. That's number 4 on Al Solis.
Foul Solis.
But Swift isn't careful. They're going to be in the same boat as the TJ Hot Dogs. Swift is now in the penalty. TJ Hot Dogs 2 fouls away.
Well, obviously, Swift cannot fall into a false sense of security here. They're only up by 2, and the TJ Hot Dogs doing the right things, speeding up things, trying to neutralize the height problem.
Keeping Swift disorganized and guessing. usual, the starters really carrying a clear majority, but free throw shooting has been the Waterloo of the TJ Hot Dogs.
Well, they will think about that after this game. Foul given up by Santa Maria downstairs.
Foul, Santa Maria.
One more, and the TJ Hot Dogs will also be in the penalty. There you see Joey Santa Maria trying to hold on Nelson Asaitono. A lot of jostling for position. Again, all the Mighty Meaties are outside the paint. Saldana backing Patrimonio to the paint, has two men on him. Couldn't convert. Codinera saves it to the captain. Throws it ahead to Capacio, and there's nobody home for Swift. The TJ Hot Dogs are up by one. We have a timeout.
Timeout, Swift. Mighty Meaty Hot Dogs.
98-97 is the count, and this is going to hurt the TJ Hot Dogs down the stretch, as if they didn't have enough problems, but then they're still in it. Swift unable to get the ball to Henderson inside. Solis with a good fake. Doesn't get it. Saldana.
Well, Saldana's been a to Swift by one.
He has a quiet 14 points. More importantly, 3 offensive rebounds. Codinera. Backing Saldana into the paint. Capacio. There's a switch. There's a foul by Saldana. That's his 4th, but Swift is in the penalty.
Foul, Saldana. Penalty.
The PJ Hot Dogs have missed 13 free throws here in this ball game. 21 out of 34. The Swift Mighty Meaties, 23 out of 28.
Those are telling numbers. And they continue to tell on the PJ Hot Dogs. Clinton Smith fouled out with 9 minutes and 25 seconds to go in this quarter. And for the TJ Hot Dogs, it seemed like forever, but they're holding their own. We're tied at 99.
You know, one thing that the Mighty Meaties should avoid is to concentrate putting the ball with David Henderson.
David Henderson asking for and getting an injury timeout that accidentally hit in the eye. Might have displaced his contact lens. There's a lot of that going around.
Well, unless he can get that contact lens back in.
Well, there's no way he's going to put it on backwards.
Well, they'll be charged with a mandatory timeout if he doesn't get that in, and that could be costly.
All right, we'll get back to the action. That was a welcome respite since both teams were getting a bit tense.
5.5 remaining in this ball game. We're all deadlocked at 99.
Terry Saldana hands it back to Distrito. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Asaitono runs into a blue wall. Solis from the outside.
Solis, 3 points.
That is triple V number 5 for Al Solis.
The way we said so, kicking it out after a double team.
Capacio got Solis out of the way but couldn't make hay. Distrito says, let's settle down. We're up by 3. Under 5 minutes to go. Asaitono. Henderson. Back out to Solis. Shot clock's down to 4. Asaitono with a great cut. Going here.
Well, Patrimonio is practically useless on defense, having 5 fouls.
Still, he's a potent weapon on offense, and Dindo Pumana is trying to get it to him. Capacio tiptoeing. No traveling there, but only one shot, and that's going to be a undercutting foul called on Joey Santa Maria. Both teams are in the penalty.
Capacio.
Glenn Capacio is replaced by Boy Cabao. They need something to open up the defenses of the Swift Mighty Meaties.
And Cabahog did that well during the third period. Somehow Capacio's diminished minutes in this ball game has affected his brand of game. No rhythm in his game so far.
Cordillera tried to front Henderson, and he quickly pays for it.
You know, one of the things in the fronting defense is the pressure on the entry pass. That time, no pressure on the pass of Distrito. Henderson getting the easy 2 points.
7-0 run by the Swift Mighty Meaties can be added to if Nelson Aceitono can complete this with a reverse slam. And that we'll take a look at again after this timeout.
Purefoods and the Juicy Hot Dog.
The Swift Mighty Meaties have established a 9-point lead, the biggest of the ball game. And the TJ Hot Dogs without Clinton Smith are hard pressed to pull abreast. Nelson Aceitono will notch another foul as Alvin Patrimonio got him
Foul,
tilted.
Aceitono.
Fourth foul on Nelson Aceitono. One thing obviously missing in the game of the TJ Hot Dogs in the fourth period has been their passing. Unable to do the same things they were doing during the third quarter. In fact, in assists. It seems like the TJ Hot Dogs were leading during the third period. They had a big lead, in fact, 9-3 into the third period. And that is one thing they have to do here in the fourth quarter.
And don't forget, after this ball game, we're going to air our final tribute to our dear departed colleague Joe Cantada immediately following this ball game. So please stay with us. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. 7-point advantage for Swift. But then again, the TJ Hot Dogs, as you said, have been in this situation before. Homemade screen for Alex Solis.
Solis, 3 points.
And he has killed the TJ Hot Dogs tonight. 28 points, 5, or make that 6 triples.
Again, we were talking about the backcourt production. Solis giving them points. A miss by Cabahog.
Aceitono hands it back to Solis. One-on-one against Cabahog. Cabahog lets him have it.
And Coach Eli Capasio stands up, asking why. He didn't even put up a defense that time.
Now the TJ Hot Dogs see victory and perhaps this conference slipping away, but not Alvin Patrimonio. He nets a foul and a 3-point play opportunity.
Foul.
What a
Picking up his 5th foul.
Saldana.
He will now be replaced by Eric Reyes. And the luxury of Coach Yang Yao of shuffling his big men, keeping them fresh.
A lot of players on the TJ Hot Dog side have not seen action at all tonight. And we're talking
Santa
about
Maria.
June Tan,
Elmer Reyes.
and
of course,
Rudy Antarina and Nani De Mihilio, and the rest of the bench has seen minimal action.
That's correct.
That's why this man has had to carry the load. He's keeping them in there, but a 9-point lead with 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining without their import. Things look quite bleak for the TJ Hot Dogs.
Well, there's still enough time. Of course, they have to double up or double time on their defense.
Force some turnovers and not give up fouls.
One thing that's working against them is their penalty situation.
That's number 4 on Glenn Capasio. A mismatch there. Nothing he could do to stop Nelson Aceitono from bullying his way to the basket. But Swift has got to be careful. They haven't got this sewn up. Misses the second.
Chance for the PJ Hot Dogs to get momentum. Patrimonio going all the way in.
Misses the shot, however. And Henderson trying to settle his team down. Time is on their side. And we're hitting the final stretch.
Last 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes.
The last 2 minutes, nahatid sa inyo ng Emperador Brandy. Dito na tayo sa totoo. Emperador Brandy, good block by Jericho Diniera. He recovers to complete it. They got to start hitting some outside bombs. Cabahog dishes it off to Patrimonio. Left-handed layup. And Yang Gao smells trouble.
Timeout Swift, Mighty Meaty Hot Dog.
The next conference. Right now, the Swift Mighty Meaties have the advantage in the form of a 7-point lead. And time rapidly running down. Al Solis couldn't handle it. He travels.
That's a good call. Solis picked up the ball, then took two tiny steps.
Just tiny ones.
Yes. Well, the referee had tiny eyes.
Let's not get personal. Now the TJ Hot Dogs need a big run and a big stop. Cabajo bombing away, doesn't go.
Well, that was a very flat shot taken by Cabajo. Didn't have enough jump.
Henderson puts an emphasis.
Obviously, Bill, the loss of Clinton Smith not only affected them in their offense, but more so in their morale. Just let this game go down and slip away.
And when both teams got into the penalty, the missed free throws of the TJ Hot Dogs could not help them equal the advantage.
That's correct. Well, they missed about 14 free throws today. That's about the lead. More. If they had converted, they could have made a better game here.
That's foul number 3. Both teams are in the penalty. Remember, 41 seconds to go. So it will be Presto, Shell, San Miguel, Alaska, and Swift.
Well, Henderson has been the big man for Swift together with Al Solis. They built them out of the woods. Henderson almost with a triple-double performance today.
And we were talking about the outside shots, and Glenn Capaccio
Capaccio,
he's shown his ability to rack those up in a hurry, but it's just a little too late.
And you know, Capaccio saw very limited time in this ball game, something that Coach Eli Capaccio failed to do, give his bench a lot of minutes. Instead, he played his starting unit too much, which caused, of course, Clinton Smith to pick up so many fouls early.
Plus the rest of the front line,
Henderson.
a lot of fouls. You've got 5 on Patrimonio. Ramos got 5. Even Glenn Capaccio got 5. David Henderson's taken out of the ball game. He's given a rest.
Well, he's wondering why he was removed with 31 seconds to go and a 6-point lead for the Swift Mighty Meaties.
Well, it's up to Eric Reyes to prove Yang Yao is correct.
And he does. Eric Reyes has also been a good help off the bench. 9 points, 4 out of 4 from the free throw line. And of course, his defense on Alvin Patrimonio in the third period. In fact, I think Eric Reyes drew a couple of fouls from Patrimonio. A good 3-point shot by Capaccio plus a foul.
Capaccio, 3 points.
Glenn Capaccio is saying this ain't over till it's over.
Foul, Reyes.
That's number 4 on Eric Reyes. Glenn Capaccio is asking if it counts.
You know, if Capaccio makes this bonus free throw, the lead will be down to 4 with still 26 seconds to go, and the Swift Mighty Meaties will have to prove themselves on the free throw line.
That has been their weak spot. But Glenn Capaccio apparently ignoring that fact. Tanoan is fouled by TJ Hot Dogs. You know, the TJ Hot Dogs have managed to slow down
Foul,
this game
Kumare.
and reduce it to a foul throw shooting contest.
Well, that's their only hope at this stage. 1 second chop off the game clock. Stands at 25 seconds to go.
Now it has to come to this. Swift Mighty Meaties have to clinch this, and the free throw. Makes both. 6-point advantage for Swift. Glenn Capaccio has it knocked out. 21 seconds to go.
Well, a 3-point shot here will put the pressure on Swift.
And that's what they have in mind. Might have been a bit too much to ask for. The bench of the TJ Hot Dogs asking them to foul. Tanuan with a gimme. Patrimonio still asking for the final say. All that remains to be settled is the final tally. Al Solis, he's been a hero tonight. There's 1 second left. A lot of splendid performances all around, but again, the foul trouble, too much to tell. No time taken off the clock.
Well, everybody's congratulating everybody on the floor. Patrimonio going to Jack Tanuan, former teammate.
And that is all she wrote for the TJ Hot Dogs. All right, in a nutshell, that is what happened tonight. And in a nutshell, our Jollibee best player is Al Solis. Talk about bombing away from the outside and racking up points inside. Al Solis had 30 points and 7 assists in a splendid performance, bailing the Swift Mighty Meaties out of trouble when they needed it the most.